Hello everyone, my name's Trish Barry and I'm on the Wine Communicators of Australia Committee. I'm here with Rick Bakas on the final day of your Australian Whirlwind Tour, and what a 2 weeks it's been. Some amazing discussions around Australian wine with visits to 8 wine regions, numerous numbers of wineries, 3 international tweet-ups, 4 local tweet-ups, 4 lectures. It's been quite a trip, Rick.
Yeah, I definitely can't be accused of being a slacker.
Not at all. Look, the whole objective of this trip was really to open the consumers and the wineries' eyes to what social media can achieve, and I think we've been incredibly successful in doing that. There's been over 1,080 different contributors to the tweet-ups. There's been nearly 66 million impressions generated around the hashtags of Barossa, Yarra and Hunter Wine and the Wine Communicators Taste and Tweets, and some invaluable information that's been shared on how to leverage social media to grow and engage consumers with your brand. Rick, what 3 things would you say to wineries as final takeouts to recap on the tour that they need to think about in their social media planning?
Yeah, well look, there's the 3 main things. If I had to pick 3, the first one be, now that we have a little bit of an idea of a success, or wineries have got a taste, maybe they just got into Twitter the last 2 weeks, and now that they've started to see that they can actually do something, the first tip I would say is don't try and sell. Don't go out and try and promote or do any sort of selling or offers or anything like that, because this is just the beginning. I would wait at least 90 days before you even think about trying to sell wine or to do business. We're still in the early stages of building trust. And I use the analogy of planting vineyards. You don't plant vines and then turn around and try and make wine out of the fruit. You have to organically nurture the vines, and then you make wine 3 or 4 years later.
Correct.
So I think the wineries will really benefit just in the early stages as their vines develop, build trust, reply, care about people online, things like that, and just start there. And then after 3 months, then think about doing some sort of commerce. And even then, just put your toe in the water. Another thing I would say is really critical is to be consistent. Use the same avatar or the same photo on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all those things, so that your brand is consistent across all the social sites, or your social graph as it's called. And I would also say video is critical. Now wineries have the opportunity to take video, 30 seconds, a minute, maybe no more, just talk about the fruit, talk about your vineyard, talk about each wine, and really tell your own story, because consumers, you can now tell them about the wine that you made. You don't have to rely on someone else to say what your vintage was about.
And do that consistently.
Do it consistently.
So with all the wines that you've tried over the last 2 weeks, is there any learnings or change of impression that you've had in terms of Australian wine that you can obviously take that message back to the United States?
Yeah, you guys have a lot of good wine here, and a lot of it doesn't make it to the States. I know it's not by the choice of the wineries. I'm sure they would love to send it, but a lot of good wine being made. The last 5 years, I would say the style of wine has vastly improved from what most wine drinkers might know. A lot more great food-friendly wines, not that there wasn't before, but I think consumers and wine drinkers are learning more about food thanks to cooking shows and Food Network and things like that. So as they understand more about food, they're understanding more about wine and how it complements. There's a lot of opportunity to educate wine drinkers not only about wine or your region, but foods and food pairings and why the wines work well. But a lot of great wine in all the regions.
Perfect. Well, Rick, on behalf of the Wine Communicators Committee, it's been a massive undertaking on your behalf, and look, we appreciate your passion and enthusiasm and coming to Australia and sharing some of your learnings. So a big thanks, and we hope to see you back here again.
Yeah, thanks, and thank you everybody. I had a great time, and I hope to see everybody again soon, at least online and definitely in person.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks heaps.